Yeah, they do move fast. When they're hungry, they're ready to go. There's no messing around. If you guys are just watching or just joining here, it is Ocoeeriversidefarm. That is our website also. We are northeast of Chattanooga, Tennessee. We have multiple lodging here on site. We have wagons, we have cabins, we have an awesome camel condo. The camel condo is upstairs. You actually get the sloth as a roommate. You can see the flash all night long, and you can look downstairs, see the kangaroos and camels. It books up well in advance. I would advise booking it ASAP. We also do just farm tours. We do farm hand for a day. If you're doing that, you need to be staying here. Look at what we got here, guys.
All right, guys, this is Zoe. Zoe is also a two-toed sloth. Zoe is a baby. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. So we say yum, yum, yum to her, and that tells her that it's time to eat. And when we say yum, 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 she lays horizontally across our lap and knows that she's going to get her food right now. And her preferred place to be is hanging around your neck, which is why the yum, yum, yum is important, is for her to know that the right position for her to get in to eat her breakfast is horizontally across the lap. And this sloth is always hand-fed. She doesn't eat out of a dish. She has water in a dish, even though sloths almost never drink. They get their water from their food, but so she does have a water dish, just in case, she wanted to drink some water. They do occasionally drink a little bit of water, but most of their water comes from their food. So Sloth and Zoe are both two-toed sloths. They are unrelated. Flash came to us from a breeder who, I think I earlier incorrectly said he was from Ohio, which is actually where I thought he was. He actually is in Michigan, and he just bought a zoo. His name is Jeremiah Teets, and the baby sloth came from a breeder in Miami, and I say breeder sort of loosely. He raises animals, but he is very focused on raising exotic animals ethically, and he is the one who breeds the ambassador animals, which this one is ambassador raised. He has a really neat system for how he does it. So his mother sloths and other animals are clicker trained, so click, 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 I'm going to take your baby, but it will be back. Doesn't stress the babies, doesn't stress the mothers. So the baby gets all the nutritional benefit of being raised by its mother, as in it nurses from its mother. Sloths only nurse their babies for about 6 weeks. They just don't have the energy budget due to sloths' metabolic processes. They don't have the energy budget to nurse their babies for longer than that, but the babies do stay with the mothers for longer than that. But all they nurse is 6 weeks. So click, 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 I'm going to take the baby, but it will be back. So I incorrectly said on a previous video that started at the 3rd day. It starts at 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, the baby is being held for 30 seconds and then a minute, and then it works up until by the time the sloth is ready to go to its forever home, it's being held for 20 minutes a number of times a day. And that is how they raise an ambassador animal. So it has all the nutrition and social benefit of being a mother-raised animal, but also it is imprinted on people from a very young age. So Flash likes people, but he likes them from a little more of a distance than Zoe does. You can get right up close to Flash, you can touch Flash, you can pet Flash, but I have been personally one-on-one with Flash all but I think 8 days in the last 3.5 years, and I have never held Flash. He wasn't raised to be a holding animal. He was in a static display for 2 years before we had him. So it wouldn't be natural for him to be held by people, so we don't hold him. But Zoe actively seeks human attention all the time. Actually, Zoe was almost named Oof, because I wanted to name her Oof, because when you go to set Zoe down, she goes, Oof, Oof. which means, no, don't put me down, keep holding me. And, but there was a naming contest on Facebook, and Zoe was the name that was chosen. So, is anybody asking any questions on there?
Oh yeah. So are their claws sharp? Do they attack? What's their temperament like? And Jeremiah runs the zoo by somebody's house.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Teets?
Yeah.
He just bought that zoo recently.
Yeah.
I saw Jeremiah in Tennessee very recently.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah's a pretty cool guy. You would never confuse me and Jeremiah. Jeremiah has a big long beard and piercings and tattoos all over him. And he is as sweet as the day is long. And he genuinely loves his animals. He's a great guy. Hey, sir. Correct. All right, bye. So, yeah, he's a cool guy. I don't remember the name of his zoo. If the person was there by it, I don't mind shouting Jeremiah out.
Hey, seriously, what's the name of the zoo? It looks like it's near your Christmas store and Christmas store Bronner's in Frankenmuth. Wilderness is the name of the zoo.
Yeah, okay, Wilderness Zoo. That's Jeremiah's zoo. And Jeremiah's a good guy. So anyhow, somebody asked about their claws. Yes, their claws are sharp. We do their claws with a Dremel because a sloth's last bone of their finger is inside of their claw. So you don't want to just go cutting a sloth's claws. You could seriously injure it if you don't know what you're doing with taking care of a sloth's claws. So we use a Dremel, and we do it very small amounts at a time. Their temperament, wild animals are wild animals, but these ones are interacted with humans on a day-by-day basis. So we don't get concerned about our sloths attacking a person. This guy has been here for 3.5 years. He's never shown aggression to anyone. This one has been here her birthday is December 16th. So she'll be a year December 16th. She came to us when she was 3.5 months old. So she's been here for about 7 months. And obviously she is very, very people oriented, loves to be near, around with people. But the sharpness of the claws comes into play with our little girl here when she's hanging around your neck. If you're not supporting her underneath the bottom and she feels like she's gonna fall, she'll hang on tighter, and that can be pretty pinchy. But she's obviously not looking to hurt anyone. Temperament, sloths are slow. Sloths are famously slow. Sloths are obviously quiet. I have never heard that one make a sound. This one, the only sound I've heard her make is boop, boop. And so sloths like people to be slow, calm, and steady. And it's not just sloths. All animals like people to be calm. Like when we're riding our horses. If I have somebody get on the horse that is nervous and afraid when they get on, that just transmits your negative energy, or your stress energy transmits directly to the animal. Same way with diving. I like to dive. I like to dive a lot. And when you're interacting with animals that are bigger than you in the water, stress is not a good thing. So the best interactions with our little girl here are when people are calm and steady. And fortunately, we have a minimum age that people can interact with a sloth, because small kids especially, are just too jumpy. But most people who come for a sloth encounter already know something about a sloth. They've at least researched it, they've looked at it, whatever. And they're generally aware, and we give them some general guidelines before they hold a sloth. But we have never had a temper issue with a sloth. It did take about 2 years to get this guy ready for his sloth encounters, the one above my head up there. And the reason for that is he was in a static display before I owned him, and he was not accustomed to people. And you can make an animal eat from your hand by withholding food, but again, we won't abuse any animal in any way. So he got all of his normal diet, and he started to eat out of our hand when he was comfortable to want to eat out of our hand. And then it took a significant another period of time to where he trusted us enough that people who come with us, he will eat from their hand. But so his encounter was about 2 years in the making. The baby here came to us already imprinted on humans. So she was in the house only with us for, I want to say, 2 or 3 months before she started to see other people. And then obviously she started to see people that we know and trust first before she started to see, just random guests. But these days she just genuinely seeks human attention all of the time. Did that cover the questions that you just asked me?
It did. We have a bunch of new people joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. The couple questions are: what is Zoe eating, and what does her hair feel like, and how do people come hold the sloth themselves?
All right. So what she's eating, if after this live is over, it's going to be posted, and you're welcome to back the video up, and you can see how I prepped her food. But to directly answer your question, what she's eating right now is organic long grain brown rice that was cooked in a rice cooker with sweet potato shredded in it and lamb and rice dog food that was dissolved in water to the point that it's like crumbly mixed in it. And her snack food is organic baby spinach leaves. What her hair coat feels like, she is very soft. People often are surprised by just how soft she is. The adult sloth also is very soft. He looks like he would be wiry, but he's not. He's very soft. And how you come and hold the baby sloth, all of our animal experiences are booked online on our website, which is Ocoee, O-C-O-E-E, Ocoeeriversidefarm.com. And we suddenly have a great many people looking at us on social media, so you do want to plan your visit in advance. Our bookings for everything close out 24 hours before the actual event, and our sloths do very few interactions per day. We are not the kind of place that as often as somebody will hand us money, we're going to hand them a sloth. Our sloths do only 2 or 3 interactions per day, so you do want to book it in advance. If you are staying here on the farm, what I would recommend to do is first look at the website and see if the sloth encounter is available on the day that you intend to come. Then book your lodging if you're staying on the farm, which you don't have to be, but if you're staying on the farm, book your lodging, because right now when you book your lodging, you're going to get a discount code that's going to give you a 25% discount on your animal encounters, and that will come to you via email. The emails are automated, so after you complete your booking, in one of the automated emails that comes to you, there will be a discount code for not only the sloth encounters, but all of the animal encounters that are on the farm. And she is almost done with her breakfast here. She eats roughly 5 tablespoons of food at a meal, and she's probably I didn't use a tablespoon right now because I'm down here and I don't have a tablespoon, but she is probably just about done. She kind of slowed down on that last little bit right there, and this probably will be the last bit of food that she's going to eat right now. So on the same website that you book the sloth encounters, I know that a lot of people are on this live are just looking at us because there's a sloth here. There are other things to do on the farm. The farm tour and animal encounter, some people perceive that they're going to see goats and sheep and that's about it, but actually you're going to see the petting farm. Yep, so there she is, just slowing down on her food, and now she's going to want to crawl up around my neck and snuggle up, and she's probably just going to go to sleep. And so the farm tour and animal encounter, some people perceive that all they're going to see there is farm animals, but you're also, in addition to horses and ponies and sheep and goats and pot-bellied pigs and tortoises, you're also going to see coatimundi and rhea and mini squirrel, micro squirrels and hedgehogs and sugar gliders and camels and llamas and alpacas and zebra, donkey. There's quite a few animals that you're going to see. Difference between us and your standard zoo is almost all of our animals are up close, personal, touch them, pet them. If they're small, hold them. In some cases, feed them. So that is, by number of participants, that is the most popular thing to do on the farm. Although the maybe the most popular items are the baby kangaroo bottle feeding, which you can actually give bottles to our baby kangaroos, and obviously the sloth encounters. So number of participants, there's a lot more people on the farm tour and animal encounters because there's a lot more spots available. There's only, I think, 6 or 8 people per day who can be with the baby sloth, and only 8 people per day who can see the big sloth. So while those are wildly popular, and we have people who fly here from all over the country and drive multiple hours to get here just for those encounters, they are the hardest to book because they book up the quickest. Other things that you can do while you're here on the farm, in the near future we will have something called Party with Marty. Keep an eye on our website to see when that starts. That is interacting with the zebra in a party type setting. And we have Highland cows that you can see, and pet planned picnic. If you're coming with a few kids who just want to see some animals, you can come here on the farm and you can hang out in the petting farm, and you can bring your own picnic lunch with you and eat your picnic lunch in the pavilion, and kids play on the playground. That is a low cost item that people enjoy quite a bit, especially if you're local, and you're not traveling from a far away to do that. Hump Day is on Wednesdays, and that is petting farm, pony ride, camel ride for one price. And but what we primarily are is a lodging place. So if you look at the website, which is Ocoee, O-C-O-E-E, Riverside Farm, and I'm spelling that again because people jump on and off the lives. Maybe people haven't already heard that. The camel condo is what is above where I'm sitting right now. That is, as far as I know, the only place in the world that you can stay in a condo that has direct viewing of the sloth. The sloth comes up inside of the condo, has a big picture window in the living room, and that one sleeps 10. It has some really cool features. Just check it out online. We have covered wagons. A lot of people are not aware that the covered wagons are 4-season. They heat from 5 degrees, cool from 105 degrees. They have, I think, 1 3/4 tons of heat and air in each one of the wagons. Wagons all have their own fire pit, their own charcoal grill, their own picnic area. They are waterfront on the Ocoee River, and so there's like a gravel road that goes across the front of the wagons, and on one side of the wagons is the camel and zebra field, and on the other side of the wagons is the Ocoee River. Those ones all have a king-size bed, set of bunks, mini fridge with a separate freezer, microwave, Keurig Duo, table and chairs. They're cool places to stay. You can check those out online. There is a riverfront cabin that is the type of cabin with like a 25-foot floor-to-ceiling stone fireplace, a king loft up, a full bedroom down, pull out in the living room, makes it sleep 6. And the camel condo above us, I don't think said sleeps 10. And you can actually sleep in the horse barn with the horses here. That one is not heated and cooled, but it is a very popular stay, especially this time of year. Color season is coming up here. I was looking at the Smoky Mountain color predictor chart, and I think it said that their forecast for the peak colors, I want to say, is November 4th. We may be a week behind them on the peak color season because their elevation is higher and they're a little bit north of us. But color season is coming up. We do have a few things still available for lodging stays here on the farm. But yeah, do come out and see us, whether you're coming for a day or staying for a few. We look forward to seeing you here on the farm.
Somebody wanted to know, when he's upside down, does he see right side up, or how does that affect our vision?
You know, I have read that scientists say that when a sloth is upside down, it sees right side up. When it's right side up, they see upside down. This is just what I read online. I have no idea how they would know that. or why they think they know that. I know that if you look at a human's eyes, that when they count the number of refractions in our eyes, I think I've read that it hits your optic nerve upside down and then your brain sorts it out. So I don't know what their scientific method would be on how they know how a sloth sees, but I know that sloths are customarily upside down. The way he's hanging in front of the camera right now, you can see that the part line of his hair goes down his stomach and his hair comes back together on his back, which is a pretty strong indication that a sloth is always upside down. And the way that he hangs on the tree, he hangs there for long periods of time. And again, that's because his stress state is hands open, his relaxed state is hands closed and lashed onto a branch. And so when he's hanging from the tree and still, he's exerting no energy to hang from the tree. So they stay upside down for the vast majority of their lives. Hey Flash, what's he doing, baby?
They said, why does he move so slow?
So a sloth is slow in every way. They're not just slow in their movement, they're slow in their digestion, metabolism, metabolic processes. So the short answer to that question is it's their nature to be so. A little bit longer answer to that question would be that their energy budget is really low. Their energy budget is so low that a sloth doesn't even maintain its body temperature. That's why the environment where you keep your sloth is super important. We keep ours 78 degrees and at least 50% relative humidity all of the time. And you can kill your sloth by not having the proper environment for it very, very easily. So probably the best answer there is that their energy budget is so slow that their energy budget is so low that they can only move just so quickly.
A couple of questions about the heart rate, if you know that.
Their heart rate is low. I don't specifically know what it is. They're pretty much the opposite of our micro squirrels, which our micro squirrels have a heart rate of 200. People will hold the micro squirrels and think that the micro squirrel is panicked. I'm like, no, that's normal. That's what a micro squirrel's heart rate always is.
Flash is not Zoe's father. Flash was from Michigan and Zoe is from Miami. Yes, they both already ate. Oh, somebody wants to know what kind of fish that is.
Those are African cichlids primarily. There's a couple other kinds of fish in there.
Do they interact with each other?
Not yet. They see each other, they're aware of each other, but sloths are solitary animals. In the wild, they live completely apart. They come together to mate, and that's it. And Zoe is still a baby, so obviously there's no mating going on here.
The big one is from Ohio. That's Flash, the one you see at the top. Somebody, because we have a bunch of new people, they'd like to know how long they live.
No one can honestly tell you how long a sloth can live because no one has ever observed one from birth to death of old age. In the wild, sloths, like every other creature, don't normally die of old age. They die being caught by predators. But I can tell you that there are a couple of zoos or maybe private collections that have had sloths that are continuously captive for over 50 years that are still alive and do not appear to be showing signs of advanced age. So you could safely say at least 50 years. Beyond that, it would be only a matter of conjecture.
Do you need to go?
No, I'm free right now.
Okay.
I very rarely have time for Q&A on these things, so there probably is value to the audience in having a chance for Q&A. So if anybody has a few more questions, we could keep going a little longer.
All right, guys. There's a couple thousand of you watching right now. Who's got the questions? How long have you owned the exotic animals?
So I have lived on this property for 5 years. When I moved here, I didn't even own a dog. I've worked with horses for all of my life. The first non-just standard farm animal that we got was Cusco, the alpaca. He's been here for 3.5 years, and then we branched out from there. The camels have been here since, I think, August of 22. A lot of the parrots have been here from almost the beginning. The Coatimundi has been here for 3 years. The breeding parrot Coatimundi have been here for a little over a year. The baby Coatimundi Little Bit was born on the farm here 6 or 7 weeks ago. The Reyes just came here a couple months ago. The zebra has been here for, I don't know, you could probably scroll back through my videos and have a better answer than I have off the top of my head. But he is probably about 5 weeks, the zebra, Marty, and his donkey friend Marley. About 5 weeks. The kangaroos, our oldest kangaroo that we have had the longest, are Rough and Tough. Rough and Tough are 3 years old. They've been here since they were 7 months old. Damani and Alora are right at 20 months old. They have been here since they were 7 months old. Rosie and Josie, we were talking earlier today that this might actually be their birthday. I got them on May the 13th and they were 7 months plus or minus a couple of days. And so this being October 12th, if today isn't their birthday, it's within plus or minus a couple of days of their actual birthday. So Rosie and Josie are a year old. Maybe today, happy birthday. Let me think, what other animals are here, Kevin?
So starting from the front, we have the goats, we have Franklin the tortoise, there's the sheep, and then in terms of exotics, we have 6 different kangaroos, starting with Rough and Tough. Rough is the unneutered male kangaroo who is still red, and that's the biggest difference, is once they are neutered, they start to turn gray. Is that correct, John?
Yeah.
Yes. Rough will end up being a daddy, and who knows, we might have already started that. A lot of people are saying, are we a zoo? We have the same permits that you would have for a zoo, meaning a USDA exhibitor. We are called Ocoeeriversidefarm, and we just want to be able to share that experience with people, so we consider experiential lodging. So we have multiple lodging options here, lodging for up to 40 people, including the wagons. John, do you want to tell them about the wagons so they have a place to sleep when they get here?
Yeah, so the wagons are really cool. There is the welcome wagon has a bathroom in it. The band and chuck wagons have bathrooms in the bathhouse. The bathhouse is a bougie bathhouse. I lived in an RV for a year and a half at one point, traveling around the country. So I've seen bathhouses well and bathhouses poorly, and we set out to make the nicest bathhouse that I've seen. And we built it during COVID, so it was very much built with not sharing anything with anybody in mind. So each wagon, or the glamp site also, that have their own bathrooms in the bathhouse, you're the only one that has a key to it. There's, cabinetry in there, and you leave your things in the bathhouse so you're not traipsing back and forth with your bathing supplies. The wagons all have a king-size bed and a set of bunks. They are fully heated and cooled. They will heat from 5 degrees, cool from 105 degrees. Not a lot of people understand that they are 4-season accommodations. The wagons each have their own camp, their own fire pit, their own charcoal grill, their own picnic area. All of the wagons are waterfront on the Ocoee River, which is the most popular whitewater rafting river in America by a number of people who go down it. The wagons are situated in between the Ocoee River on this side and the camel, zebra, emu field on that side. So you got something cool out both sides of the wagon. The wagons all have their own charcoal grill. If you want to use gas, that is over on the picnic deck that is attached to the bathhouse. Then beyond the wagons, so the wagons accommodate 4 each. They all have a king-size bed and a set of bunks. They are comfy. People often ask me, where did you get this mattress? Because there are really nice mattresses. If you need more people, the Riverside cabin sleeps 6. If you need more than that, the Camel condo sleeps 10. Camel condo is the only place I'm aware of on earth that you can have a sloth for your roommate, and camels for your downstairs neighbors that you look through glass windows in the floors to look down at camels and kangaroos. And if you were trying to sleep 10 people at Motel 6, it would cost you more to sleep 10 people at Motel 6 than it would cost you to sleep at the coolest place that I'm aware of. And we have had a number of people comment that they would rather come back here than go to Disneyland again. By design, we are a calm, quiet, relaxed place intended for you to make memories with your family at a price that a majority of America can afford.
A couple questions we got here. Where are we? It's Ocoeeriversidefarm. We are 45 minutes northeast of Chattanooga in the town of Benton, Tennessee. If you want to book your experience, your lodging, or anything like that, go to Ocoeeriversidefarm.com. You click on experiences,
Farm tour was done.
and you can figure out
They've
where to
done
be
the
able
picnic
to
time.
book them. Also, that's where you're going to get your lodging.
Hey,
Yeah.
Vladik. Sorry, go ahead.
You want them?
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
So somebody asked if I'm his son. No, I'm not his son, but I think we both have a very similar sense of humor, and we talk a lot. So that
The kid that just walked in here is my son. I have a lot of kids. I have 10 kids. And my wife didn't birth 10. Half of my kids are adopted from Ukraine as preteens or teenagers. And that is part of the mission of this farm, is to glorify the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in everything we do and everything we say. And how we interact with the world and with people in it is a big part of that. And then our second goal here on the farm is to provide a place that people can make memories with their families at a price that most people can afford.
Flash and Zoe are not related, so that is not his baby. He is just kind of cruising around. He had breakfast a little bit earlier, and then we'll probably let him back out into his main enclosure. If you want to book, you'll see the link in our bio. Just go to Ocoeeriversidefarm.com. You can book everything there. If you want to make sure that you're going to see the sloth or have any experiences that you want, check out the experiences. Make sure the date's available. Once it's available, then book your lodging. Once your lodging is booked, you will then get a 25% discount on the experiences via the email. Make sure it's available. We have tons to do here. Over 100 animals. We have camels, zebras, kangaroos, sloths, armadillos, all kinds of birds. We have iguanas. We even have John. He's partly an animal too. So we're about to bring out something. Watch your hair there, John.
Oh, that's good. Hey, Flash. This is what a three-banded armadillo looks like. This is his head, this is his tail. So they make into a perfect ball like that. Surprisingly, this is a relative of a sloth. If you look at the little claws on this guy, or the toes on this guy, that's where he looks the most sloth-like. And I don't have enough hands to really hold this guy right now. But this is a Brazilian rainforest animal, and it's kind of cool the way his ears pop out when he comes out. His name is Bakugan because he makes into a ball and then comes out of the ball like those Bakugan toys that my kids enjoyed playing with when they were younger. And he's a cool little guy. I'm going to set him down and let him run around a little bit. And that one is a baby. The full adult size on that guy is going to be the size of a soccer ball. And he will be able, I'm told, I haven't seen this because this is the first one I've had, but I'm told, and it surprises me quite a bit, that he's going to be able to run 30 miles an hour and jump 3 feet. Those guys can smell ants underground for something like 18 to 24 inches underground, and then they dig down and eat them.
Somebody asked if armadillos are covered in salmonella.
So some armadillos can carry leprosy, but of course leprosy is not like it was in the Bible, that it's a certain death sentence. These days you go to see your doctor if you had leprosy. But there are no, as far as I'm aware, there are no known cases of an armadillo spreading leprosy to a person. I'm sure there must be, but this is not the kind of armadillo that is running around North America. This is a Brazilian rainforest animal.
A lot of people are curious, why are they always upside down, and what happens if a sloth ever falls?
So sloths are upside down because it is their nature to be so. It is the way the Lord created them, and their whole body is built around being upside down. What happens if a sloth falls? So in the rainforest, that is part of the beauty of being a sloth, is when they're in the tops of the trees, they're completely safe from every kind of predator except for an eagle. What makes them safe in the top of the tree is that they're small. He only weighs 15 pounds, so they can go much further out the branch than a predator large enough to threaten his life can go. If the predator, such as a jaguar, pressed the issue to the point that the branch broke, the sloth can withstand the 80 to 100-foot drop from the top of the rainforest canopy to the floor of the rainforest, which is somewhat springy, and the cat would not survive the fall. So the sloth would look at the cat and go, ha, ha, and back up the tree he would go. Not at any great rate of speed. But, so yes, a sloth is very much like a slinky. He's got 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs to protect his massive stomach, and the sloth can withstand a huge fall. If you look inside of his environment, though, there are nets in there to catch him if he falls, because in the rainforest he's not falling onto concrete. So don't want to find out what would happen if the sloth fell 20-some feet onto a concrete floor. But we do have cargo nets in there that stretch across the bottom of the enclosure, so that if he fell, he would be caught in a net.
We have a lot more people watching, so they kind of want to know again, are we a zoo? Where are we? And how do they come do the sloth?
We are in Benton, Tennessee. We are 45 minutes northeast of Chattanooga. Our closest airport is Chattanooga Airport, CHA. We have had people visit here this year from, I believe, 36 states, and I've been saying 13 countries, but the couple that are staying in the barn right now are from London, so that would put us at 14 countries. They're the first people from Great Britain this year, as far as I recall. And so people are coming here from all over the states and all over the world to do the things that we do here. Everything that we do you can book on our website, which is Ocoeeriversidefarm. Ocoee is O-C-O-E-E, Ocoeeriversidefarm. And if you are going to do our encounters here, you do not have to be staying here. People ask us that all day, every day, if they have to be staying here. And probably part of the reason for that question is until February of this year, you did have to be staying here to do the things that we do on the farm. We are now open to the public on a limited basis. All of our events and encounters on the farm are booked online. You book a specific date and time. We do not have crowds of people walking around this farm. It is meant to be a quiet and reflective place where you can make memories with your own family and friends instead of being in a crowd like you're at a zoo. Our animals here are approachable, pettable, holdable, touchable, the vast majority of them. If you go on a farm tour and animal encounter, some people have the perception they're just going to see farm animals, but you are going to see a lot of animals on farm tour and animal encounter. Most of the time, I personally am your guide on the farm tour and animal encounter, which lasts for about 75 to 90 minutes. You're going to see horses, ponies, goats, sheep, tortoises, llamas, alpacas, camels, zebra donkey, micro squirrel, sugar glider, hedgehog, bearded dragon, iguana, leopard geckos. I don't know, you're going to see a lot of animals if you come on the farm tour and animal encounter. If you book the farm tour and animal encounter, if you want to add on pony rides, camel rides, or kangaroo encounters, those are bookable at half price. If you scroll down from where you are on the animal encounter before you get to checkout, there's a box on there if you want to add on those other items at half price. You cannot go back and add them at half price later. You have to do it when you book your farm tour and animal encounter. The other things that you can do here on the farm, you can interact with Flash the Sloth. We do not hold Flash the Sloth. You get this close to him. You feed him, pet him, touch him. I teach you about sloths. You can do baby sloth snuggles, which is with Zoe right here. You can do what I am doing right now with this baby sloth. You book all of these things online. You can bottle feed baby kangaroos. You can have interactions with adult kangaroos. You can only ride a horse if you're staying here on the farm. You can ride ponies as part of your farm tour animal encounter. You can bring your kids out to do a pony groom and ride where they get the pony ready, groom it, saddle it, and then ride it. Um, you can see Scottish Highland cows. You can see llamas and alpacas. There's a lot to do here on the farm.
All right, so we got a couple extra thousand people watching again. I'll talk for a second, give John's voice a rest. So he is holding baby Zoe. These are two-toed sloths. Baby Zoe is one of the sloths that you can actually hold. Flash, the adult sloth, right up here. We do not hold Flash. He came from Michigan. Baby Zoe has been raised from the very beginning in Miami from a veterinarian, a breeder. We are a licensed USD exhibitor facility. We are basically a zoo. The name does say Ocoeeriversidefarm, but for all intensive purposes, we're a zoo. Over 100 animals here on the farm. We have 30 acres. We are backed right up to the Cherokee National Forest. It is a beautiful location. Again, we are in Tennessee, Benton, Tennessee. We are on the banks of the Ocoee River, where the 1996 Olympics were held. Leaf season is coming up. It is going to be beautiful here, and all winter it is just a great place to be. We have multiple lodging options here. We have 3 wagons. They have a king-size bed with a great mattress. John says he can't sleep on anything. He says he is the definition of the princess and the pea. So he has tested them, and he says they are awesome. People that stay here say they are awesome. Again, they are heated and cooled, so you're not going to get hot. You are not going to get cold. There's plenty of standing room in there. We have had people well over 6 feet. Standing in there, there's no issue. I believe the interior is what? How tall, John?
8.5, 9 feet.
8.5, 9 feet. So as long as you're not Goliath rolling up in here, you're going to have plenty of room. We have the Riverside cabin. It's right there. It has a little bit more room. You have an upstairs bedroom, a downstairs bedroom, and then you have a fold-out couch. You are right on the banks of the Ocoee. It's a beautiful, beautiful river. And then also as you move up, you have the camel condo. So we are on the bottom floor of the camel condo right now inside the sloth enclosure. If you are upstairs, there is a plexiglass window. So you are getting to stay inside and look at Flash at night. It is amazing. Also, upstairs, there are 3 main suites. All of them have king-size beds. 2 of them are hanging from like ship's ropes, which John's designed. No one has fallen. He is an engineer, so if he falls, it's not going to happen, basically. Also, there are 2 bunk rooms for the kids. There is basically a tunnel that connects them. It is beautiful. There is fish tanks inside of there. There's PS5. There's internet. There's a full galley's kitchen. So if you want to get up there and make some food, that is more than welcome. Also, we have a covered pavilion outside. We use that for basically field trips, corporate gatherings. We'd love to have some weddings out there. Let's do it. The barn is a great background. The up front barn is where the horses and the barnyard animals are. It is a great place to visit.
That we have here, that Abu is my favorite. But the thing that makes Abu my favorite animal is that he is sweet and loving. He thinks that he's a dog. And in the wintertime when I collect emu eggs, the emus chase me and Abu chases the emus. If I walk out into the field and lay down, Abu will come out and snuggle me up. And when we do field trips out here, and we might have 50 kids standing here in a row, Abu will stand there and give a kiss to all 50 of them that want to kiss a camel. And he's a pretty cool guy. Ed is a ginormous, massive camel. Ed is over 7 feet tall. He weighs about 1,750 pounds. And Ed and Abu are utterly codependent. They were born on the same farm a few days apart. They've been together every day of their entire lives. And if you get them apart, they are not happy about it. It'll be like, "Rah!" Very few people know that all these sounds that Wookiees make in the movie Star Wars are live recordings of camels. And if you get those two camels to where they can't see each other, you will hear the Chewbacca's unhappy sound. But they're cool animals. We love them a lot.
All right, guys. John, do you need to go now?
I need to wind down, yeah. If there's a couple more questions, I could answer a couple more, but then I have more events coming.
All right, I'm gonna let John read through his messages here real quick, and I'll give you guys an overview again. I know there's a lot of new people, and if you have questions, we'll try to answer them best as possible. What is he holding? He has a sloth. This is a two-toed sloth. That's baby Zoe. You do get to feed and hold Zoe.
Sometimes you feed her, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes, that is correct.
You always hold her. Sometimes it's time for her to eat, sometimes it's not. Her snack food is organic baby spinach leaves. Usually you can feed her some of those.
And then up above is Flash. They are not related. And then once we wind up here, I'll probably walk out through the barn and go ahead and show you guys some of the camels, and I'll walk out with the zebras. No, it is not all the animals that we have. We have over 100 animals. Where are you traveling to hold these? You are going to go to Ocoeeriversidefarm.com. You're going to book it right there. 5 hours away from Charlotte. That is not too far. You can either fly into Chattanooga or drive. It's totally up to you. The link is in the bio, or just go to Ocoeeriversidefarm.com. You want to make sure that the experience you're looking for is available. Once it's available, book your lodging. When you book your lodging, you're going to get an email that gives you 25% off of your animal experiences. So if you're what state? We're in Tennessee, 45 minutes northeast of Chattanooga. No, we're not in Ocoee, Florida. I know that comes up a lot, but it's nice and cool up here. So I'm going to go ahead and walk out and let John get to what else he has to do.